A standard software wallet lives entirely on your computer, which means its security is limited by the strength of your operating system. Today, we are moving your private keys onto a dedicated piece of hardware that never touches the internet. Once the setup is complete, MetaMask will serve only as a visual interface. Your ledger device will become the mandatory physical key required to approve every single transaction. You will need your ledger device and a browser that supports the necessary connection protocols, like Chrome or Brave. Avoid using Firefox for this setup, as recent updates have made it incompatible with many hardware wallets. Before we begin, there is one absolute rule. Never type your ledger's 24-word seed phrase into your browser, into MetaMask, or onto any website. Typing your hardware seed phrase into an internet-connected device immediately exposes it to the network. This removes the primary security benefit of the hardware and turns your setup back into a vulnerable hot wallet. Start by installing the MetaMask extension from the official website. When prompted, choose the option to create a completely new wallet. MetaMask will generate its own 12-word seed phrase. This is a requirement for the software to function as a standalone bridge on your computer. Understand you now have two separate identity systems. The 12-word phrase is for your online browser interface, while your 24-word phrase remains strictly for your offline ledger. These systems must remain entirely segregated. They are never meant to be imported into one another. By using a separate software seed for the interface, your ledger's master key stays air-gapped while the browser handles the internet traffic for your trades. Before connecting, completely close the Ledger Live application on your desktop. This prevents software conflicts that often block the browser's access to the device. Plug in your ledger, enter your physical PIN, and open the Ethereum app. Once inside the Ethereum app, navigate to the internal settings menu. Find the setting for blind signing or contract data and ensure it is set to enabled. Return to the main screen of the Ethereum app until you see the status message, "Application is ready." Enabling blind signing allows your ledger to authorize complex smart contracts used in decentralized finance, rather than just simple peer-to-peer transfers. Now, we link the hardware to the software. Open the MetaMask account menu and select the Add Hardware Wallet option. Choose Ledger from the list of manufacturers and click Continue. Keep an eye on your browser for a secondary pop-up window. This is a common point of failure if your browser blocks pop-ups by default. Select your specific device from the list and click Connect to establish the link. A list of addresses will appear. Select the first Ethereum account. This is usually the one that holds your existing funds, and click Unlock. This handshake protocol allows MetaMask to view public balances and prepare transactions, never granting browser access to private keys held on the ledger. You can verify the connection by opening the Account dropdown in MetaMask. You should see your new account marked with a distinct ledger tag as visual confirmation. That hardware badge indicates that this specific account is now being secured by your physical device. Notice the contrast with your original Account 1. That account does not have a badge and remains a standard software wallet. This setup creates an operational barrier. You can use your software account for minor daily experiments while keeping your significant holdings in the ledger-backed account. You've now successfully integrated your hardware security while keeping your private keys entirely offline. Your transaction workflow has changed. MetaMask will still draft and prepare your transactions, but it can no longer execute them on its own. Final authority now rests in your hands. You must review the data on the ledger's screen and provide manual approval by pressing both physical buttons. This requirement for physical touch is a concrete defense against theft. Even if a hacker gains remote access to your computer or your MetaMask password, they cannot move your funds without the physical hardware in your hand.